touchdown run and everything in between, the communication, the huddle, the belief you guys had?
Yeah, I just feel like that's just a representation of who we are, always straight until the very end. And throughout that drive, it was just grit and grinding out. And, we like to say grind and meat. We just grind and meat that whole time, killing the clock and getting down there. Shout out to the O-line, shout out to Brad, shout out to everyone, man, clearing up holes. We were just able to execute. And at the end of the day, a lot of football is about what you do when you face adversity. So it feels good to be able to face some adversity and overcome it.
Front row left here, Aaron.
Khalil, up until that drive, this offense had struggled a little bit. Did you feel like at that point you had to kind of put the offense on your back and make a play?
Yeah. I mean, all of us are always trying to make plays. But it's the fourth quarter, not much time left. We knew, it was now or never. So really everybody was a team effort. Everyone's out there grinding, and we were all able to make some plays, so it was beautiful.
Front left here, Steve Kornacki.
Well, take us through the 62-yard run. What you saw coming up the middle, you realized you probably had your first down yardage.
Yeah.
And then you broke the tackle. Take us all the way through that play.
Yeah. I got up through the middle. I honestly don't even really remember the first part of the play. I just got up through the middle, and then I kind of spun off the safety, I think. And, really I just kept my feet, and I was still up after I broke the safety's tackle. So I was like, shoot, there's no one else in front of me. Let me go. It's kind of hard for me. I kind of space out when I'm running, when I'm playing. I'm not going to lie. I don't really remember too much, but, yeah.
Front left, John.
For either of you other two guys, no first downs in the second half until that run. Describe the feeling of seeing him spin out of it and the back of his jersey streaking down the field.
For me, the view was great just because, I handed it off. So all I'm looking at is number 20 just streaking down the field. But I think it really felt like divine intervention, just God really on that field with us right there. Couldn't have done it without him. And then, the big guys up front, when I'm talking big guys up front, it's not 5 guys. It's 7 with the tight ends out there. Sometimes it's 8. It might be 10. I don't know. But all I know is that when it comes down to it and we're trying to move the ball and possess the football, that's what Michigan football is all about.
All right. Stay on the left side towards the middle. Austin. Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. You wanted to give Max a chance to answer as well?
Yeah, it was a great feeling just because we knew we were close. There's just little details we had to clean up, and we knew it was right there, and we've just trust in everybody on that team. When 20 gets the ball, something's going to happen, so we were just excited to see it really click, and we knew it was right there, just had to go do it.
Towards the middle there, Austin.
For any of the three of you guys, what do you remember about the conversation in the huddle before that fourth down play? What was the reaction when the play call came?
For me, it was a lot because you got Coach Moore, who obviously was the O-line coach. Those are his boys, and grinding meat is his thing. And then Coach Newsome, O-line coach. It's a lot. And then on top of that, Coach Campbell in my ears. But it was just the fourth down was that was one we knew we were going to get it. That was just confidence. That's confidence right there. The third down, I was kind of but then the fourth, at that point, it's do or die, backs against the wall. We're not just dogs. We're wolves. Let's go do this thing. We all knew what was about to happen and, called one of our favorite plays down there. Gio, Max, Khalil, that's a dangerous combo.
We live for that.
Yeah, we do, man.
All right, one more here on the left, then we'll go back to the right. Tom.
This is for Max. Can you talk from your perspective as a blocking back, H-back, fullback, the offensive line, and 2 weeks in a row now, his running game has turned a lot of yards. I know it was a drought in the third quarter, but talk about the maturation of that O-line from your perspective.
Yeah, everything's just coming together great. You can feel the connectivity of everybody coming together, and there's just trust in everyone. And the best part about playing Michigan football is you're playing for somebody else. You're playing for the guy next to you. You're playing for Michigan. You're playing for everyone that's ever played before you. And when you gotta run the ball, when you gotta grind meat, you're doing it for more than yourself, and that's what it felt like.
Okay, on the right side, about 3 rows back, Zach, and then Reka.
For Khalil, Max, the fourth quarter runs will be remembered, but you guys ran for 190 yards in the first half. How important was that to setting that tone of how you guys wanted to play this game and also building lead too?
Yeah, it's always important to be able to possess the ball keep the other team's offense off the field and give our defense a rest. And at the same time, being able to churn out that many yards early on, it forces teams to bring some players down and kind of play the run a little bit, which can open up, deeper shots and some pass game stuff as well. So that's always going to be our goal as backs, as a front seven, as a offensive line, backs, tight ends. It's always to churn out as many yards as possible, hit them with as many gut punches as possible. Knowing that one will break eventually, but at the same time, we're giving our defense a break, opening up some things in the pass game as well. So.
Orgy.
Sorry, second row all the way to the right, Reka.
Can you just talk about
I really can't thank God enough for putting me in this position. I can't thank Coach Moore enough for giving me the opportunity to lead this offense, and then every guy in a blue jersey who stepped on the field, who didn't step on the field, everyone on our sidelines, like the confidence that they instilled in me, this week, but also just since I've been here, been wearing the Block M. I mean, it's second to none. It's uncomparable to anything that I've been around before. I mean, this family is just different. Something else.
First row left, Larry Leach.
Khalil, to have a team know you're going to run the ball most of the game and to still be able to do it and kind of welcome USC to the Big Ten, how does it feel?
It feels great. It feels great, and that's always going to be our goal. Teams are most of the time they're going to stack the box. They're going to try to stop the run against us. We know that going in, and we know we still have to run the ball anyway. It's a big part of football. It's a big part of who we are. And it feels great to be able to do that and to dominate another team like that.
Tony, and then to the back.
Yeah. Hey, fellas. Obviously, never apologize for a win, but not sure if you guys would have seen the box score before if you knew you had 32 passing yards. If you would have felt that. So I guess maybe talk about the passing game as well and the ability to get a win, like maybe it wasn't there, how you felt, and if there's more still to be had.
There's more to be had always. There's always something we can get better at, but whatever's necessary, whatever it takes to win, we'll do it. And we showed that, and like I said, we'll play however we have to play, and we'll win games. We know we can throw the ball. We know we can do anything. So just happy to get wins.
Alex as well.
I mean, if we threw for 1,000,000 yards today and we lost, I'd be sitting here crying. So whatever it takes to win, if it's 32 yards, if it's 10, if it's 100, it doesn't matter to me. A bunch of people were asking me what I wanted out of my first start. I wanted a ball secure victory, and we got that. So.
Two more, maybe three for these guys before we get Coach Moore in. We'll go to the back right.
Congratulations, Orgy, on your start today in a thrilling manner. It will never be forgotten, so I had to shout you out for that. And you talked a little about coming out with the confidence. You were going out there, you were met with adversity after each play. It was tough to get into a rhythm. What were you thinking in your mind, or what were your coaches instilling in you, or even this week, that when you met that adversity that you would come out and continue to execute?
The confidence that I got from the coaches and the players alike was huge. But, Isaiah, you can show them your hat real quick? That's everything to me. That's everything. The confidence that I get from the man above is second to none. I can't tell y'all enough how much every time I'm reading my Bible, I'm in Psalms right now. Psalms long, if y'all don't know. I'm reading Psalms right now, and it's just everything that I'm reading and I'm hearing from my parents and from my people is being reinstilled in me. And it's the confidence that I'm getting from the man above and from the people around me. It's just different. I keep saying it's different, but when I tell you that last drive really felt like divine intervention, it felt like he was right there on that field with us. We just got to keep, trusting in God and trusting in each other. I think that nearness to God makes you fearless in life, so we got to keep rolling.
Middle, all the way to the back, sir.
Orgy, it's about 144 years since Michigan hired his first African-American head coach. Today, you got your first start. So it's kind of we've never seen this before, a black head coach and a black starting quarterback.
And a black athletic director.
And a black athletic director.
Amen.
Speak on just breaking barriers.
It's awesome. It's great to see. It's got to be done at some point, right? Somebody's got to do it. And, I can't express how much I love Coach Moore. Just seeing him every day since he became the head coach, it's just what you're getting from him. He's a crazy dude sometimes, but he's awesome. We love him to death. And when he gets up here in front of y'all and tells y'all how much he loves us, it's so for real. It's all love. The amount of stuff, the things that we do throughout the week, throughout the summer, throughout the fall, everything that he's ever done, every decision he's ever made, he's had us in his mind first. He had us in his heart first. He treats us like his two daughters at home, for real. I can't say how much I love you, Coach Moore.
And I kind of feel like that was, that's always the game plan going into every game. Stopping the run. Making a team one-dimensional is, helps us on defense. Execute, and that's what we did.
Front row all the way to the left, Aaron.
For all three of you, what did you see on the Will Johnson's pick six, and how pivotal was that play at that point in the game?
I just think it's great play by a great player.
I mean, you guys seen it plenty of times, so he's good for at least one.
Well, I mean, he does what he does on the field, so, I mean, it was kind of not a shock to us when he picked the ball off and scored for 6.
More questions for these three? All right, second we'll go to the back right, Zach.
USC is known for having a lot of receivers, a lot of guys who can make plays. I guess, can you just speak to the challenge that the secondary had and how you guys, fared in that challenge?
I would say they just had speed, and something that we was high on is just putting hands on them, slow their timing down. So, once we did that, we disrupt the quarterback with their pass rush and slow down the timing. So I feel like we did good with that.
Gentleman in the middle towards the back.
Just for all three of you guys, how did you guys overcome the ebbs and flows of the double fumble play by Kenneth Grant?
I mean, we just excited to be out there again. As a defense, we attack every chance we get to be on that field, and we're excited to be on that field no matter the situation. So, I mean, when KG fumbles, it's like, okay, bet, let's do it again.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the same way. Obviously a great player trying to make a great play. He was trying to take it back. Didn't see the guy. It was just a football play. At the end of the day, we're just gonna line up again. It doesn't really matter what happens.
Yeah. Oh. No, you're good. Yeah, I'll just say, piggyback off Jay Stu. I mean, I was excited to get back out there and play some more football. I mean, it wasn't really anything that was in my head, we got to go back out there. Nah, I was like, come on, let's get it done.
Third row on the left, Austin.
You guys, as the defensive line, as you've been waiting for a game to really kind of show what you could do, did this feel like that game for you guys?
Yeah, I feel like it did. I feel like the first 3 games, we kind of didn't have enough, time, even though that's what teams really give us. So USC, we knew they were going to drop back. That's just what they do. So they were going to give us opportunities to make plays, and I feel like that's what we did today.
Go to the corner in the back left, Andrew.
Can you guys take us inside the locker room a little bit after the game? I mean, Sharon said some guys were trying to lift them up and things like that. I'm sure it was.
Can you say it again? I can't hear you.
Just inside the locker room after the game, the celebration. Were there any little memories that stand out as far as?
I mean, this whole game will be a memory, but for sure, we was late inside that locker room, but it's just gonna come with a dub like that, big win like that.
Left side, front row, Ryan.
On a similar note, I mean, you guys continue your win streak in Big Ten play, starting off 1-0, beating a top 15 opponent. Does this kind of feel like a potential jumping off moment for you guys heading into the rest of the season?
I feel like this is something we kind of always knew, something we're capable of. We just got to go there and execute. A new season, new players, new team. So as we get through the thick of this season, man, we're gonna be rolling.
Got time for a few more for these gentlemen. Front row on the left, Steve.
For whoever wants to answer, is Kalel that hard to bring down in practice?
I mean, obviously he's a tough runner. I feel like everyone's seen that. When we get a chance to tackle him, we'll give him some work, but he's obviously, he's going to make people miss at the end of the day when it comes down to it. So I feel like when the game's on the line, he runs the hardest. So I feel like that's just what he did today.
Runs with a purpose, for sure.
Right, farther back on the left, Bob.
For any of the players, what do you think this game made? Sharon Moore has won games last year as a head coach, but this sort of feels like a signature victory for him and this program. Could you tell it in him and what it meant to him and how you guys reacted, what it meant to him?
I mean, I feel like for him, his first actual, head coaching job win against a ranked opponent. I mean, it's, huge for him, huge motivational boost for him. But, we always got his back, and we're going to play as hard as hell we can for him.
All right, getting the microphone to the back in the middle, Reiner.
What do you think the effect that the offense had where they were able to control the ball, and also you guys were getting and controlling field position early on? How much of a positive effect did it have on defense in general?
Yeah, I feel like, complementary football is always the best football. So, them helping us, it really makes our job easier, and us helping them makes their job easier. So I feel like, them running the ball really helped us. We got our legs back. Weren't tired going out there. So, I mean, we can all just play at the highest level at that point.
And Tommy Dillman gave us some great field position. So thanks to him, for sure.
In the back on the right.
Congratulations, fellas, on such a big win today. I'm having a sense of we're already looking to next week, and you can tell me if I'm totally off. Are you enjoying this moment because the expectation was to come out here to execute? And I'm getting just a sense that you guys are locked and loaded to take this win and move on.
I'd say we are. You know, this great win for the night. You know, gonna watch film and get over it, enjoy ourselves tonight. But you know, right after tomorrow, it's work. It's right next to Minnesota.
Any additional questions for these gentlemen before we move on? All right, give us a second. We'll get back to the front row on the right, Clayton, and then back on the right. Did I miss anyone on the left?
Can you speak to how Jair played? He made some big breakups, it seemed like. And then the secondary's mindset once Will went down. How did you guys kind of manage?
Well, I mean, Jair had a hell of a game. I mean, he did great in this prep, you know, throughout the week for practice for USC. So, I mean, him coming out here and show what he could do, I mean, helped us a lot on the defensive side. And what's the second one you asked?
Just the secondary's mindset once Will went down. How do you guys manage without him and played well?
I mean, well, once he went down, you know, we always say no matter who's in the game, you know, we have expectation. So do your job, do what you got to do, and ball out. So that's it.
All right, two more, maybe three. Gentlemen in the back right.
For Mason, so obviously you and Mullings have been on this team for a long time, but going back to when he was still on the defense, can you talk about kind of his growth into becoming a great offensive player from when you both were kind of first still new on the team?
Yeah, I feel like, he was even a great defensive player when he was on our side of the ball. He was playing, in big games. He was playing in Penn State games. Just that stuff, I feel like he's just a great football player. He loves the game, knows the game, and he's just going to do well wherever he's at.
Left side in the back, Bob.
Did Wink Martindale, did he mix up the blitzes pretty well? People thought but you guys got home even without blitzing. Was it a good mix and match combination for you guys?
I feel like it was. I mean, Coach Wink trusts us to execute whatever he calls. So, I mean, if he thinks a four-man rush is working, he'll call a four-man. If whatever's working, he'll call. But we just go out there and execute whatever he calls.